You know what? I take it back. I used to always be on record saying that the weakest devil fruit was always the jacket fruit. I'm sorry to Kelly Funk. I did not understand. Now I get it. I completely understand. And if the jacket fruit, like if I had the choice between eating any Logia whatsoever, including Aramaki's Mori Mori no Mi, and I had all the Logias in front of me, or I could eat the jacket fruit, I mean, I gotta go with the jacket power, right? It's like the ultimate ability now that I realize the true, emphasis of the jacket. We're just going to ride the jacket thing into the ground, guys. It's like the thing with Barry. It's like Barry was just like a joke for like the first like 3 months he was on the channel. And, I mention him all the time. And then after a while, he slowly fades into the background, but he's still there. It's going to be like with the jacket. Okay. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff to discuss from the last chapter. I've been seeing a lot of theories. A lot of people want me to talk about this weird theory where like Momo is Pluton and then Zunisha is going to arrive and like drain all the water out of Wano, and then like I don't know, the battleship emerges or something. I mean, I maybe might talk about that in the future, but Artor already made a video about that. Other people already made a video about that. What's more important is we gotta finish that stupid video series that I started years ago with the who, what, when, where, why, and how of Kaido. We're almost done. We only have 2 videos left, okay? And after this one, we're only gonna have 1 left, okay? But honestly, I think this is the perfect time to discuss it, because the only 2 videos we've yet to talk about are when is Kaido and where is Kaido, alright? Now, up until now, it didn't make any sense to talk about where is Kaido because we knew where he was. He was right there, fighting against Luffy for like 50 chapters, right? But actually, right now, we actually don't know where Kaido is, okay? You would assume he's just, he's at the bottom of the hole. Is he? It's been like a week, if not more than that by now. So that's the crazy thing that happened is the fight ended, and then we had a week time skip, okay, where everybody could just like chill out in the castle and like the country could sort of like, heal up a little bit, and then that also gave time for Aramaki to like arrive at Wano, and then, just so everybody could heal up and stuff. So it's been a week. Has Kaido and Big Mom just been sitting down in that magma pool for like a week unconscious? Because if that was the case, like, they're straight up dead then, okay? Because Oda has also said, just going in along with Akainu's Devil Fruit ability, he put like the magma fruit at like the toppest tier of like destructive power for devil fruits, and the reasoning for that is that Oda said was like, well, magma has the ability to pretty much destroy anything, and I can't argue with that. I mean, yes, in the One Piece world, let's just assume magma is like, yeah, if you get hit with that, you're done. We also kind of got the sound effects of Big Mom and Kaido in the magma pool, sort of like dissolving in the magma. I guess that could have been their clothing or whatever. Kaido and Big Mom emerge naked from the magma pool, revitalized and ready for battle, okay? But then there's also theories, and I even brought this up before in the last video, like, what if Kaido and Big Mom are in this magma pool, and then they fall through, like, a vent or something, and then land in this giant cavern where Pluton is, okay? So that could land there. The volcanoes are erupting all over Wano, at least right after the battle, there were some volcanoes that were erupting, so maybe they got sucked down into the magma chamber, and then shot back up out of the volcano, and got sent flying away like Team Rocket, like hundreds of miles away, and they just landed on a random island in the North Blue. That would actually be really funny. You're some random farmer, and you're just farming, and you're like, man, I like farming in the North Blue territory. It's pretty hard with all the snow, but I manage. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, wara, 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 and then Kaido just crashes down in your field. It's kind of like, actually, I joke about that's pretty much exactly what happened with Geratsu from Skypiea. Yeah, that's pretty much his cover story right there, is there was a random dude that was like a farmer that ran like hot springs, and it just crashed down right next to him, and then Geratsu and that dude, he was actually Koza's uncle from Alabasta, made a hot spring island village kind of place, and that's Geratsu. That's what he's doing right now. He works at a hot spring, okay? So it's like that, except Kaido crashes down, and it's not like he loses his memory or anything. He just kind of gets back up, and he's like, oh, that was crazy. Oh, man, all right, I guess I lost. It's like, whatever. He just takes it really well. He's just like, Joy Boy has returned. Luffy has the power of the sun god. Wano has been liberated. there's no point for me going back there. I guess I'll just chill out here in this farm. And then he's like, hey, random farmer guy. And he's like, fearing for his life. He's just like, oh my God, Kaido, I'm sorry. He's like, you got any booze? And he's like, yeah, here, I'm a farmer. Of course I have booze. Like, all right, look. All right, let's get to farming then. And then Kaido begins his new job as a dairy farmer. Yep, that's a totally likely series of events that will definitely occur. But no, seriously, that was all a joke. At least I hope it is. But where is he otherwise, okay? Because, let's look at this from, a logical perspective. They're in a magma pool, okay? The chances of them dying are not, insane, okay? They might just straight up be dead. And I know, One Piece, nobody ever dies. I get it. But we're moving on to the final saga now, and we got so many other moving pieces in the story. We have the admirals. We have the revolutionaries. We have, Shanks and Blackbeard as the remaining Yonko. We have Buggy, okay? All I'm saying here is that if Oda were to just straight up kill off Kaido and Big Mom right here, and it's like, look, the battle was hard fought, they had to give it everything they had, all of the samurai of Wano, and the scabbards, and Momo, and then, transforming into a dragon, and then the Straw Hats, and then this alliance, and then they knocked him down a hole, Kid and Law fighting Big Mom, all this crap, they land in a magma pool, and then they just straight up die. If that happened, at least, okay, they're dead and we can focus on other aspects of the story, because if they are still alive, then it's like, okay, are they going to show up again during this final war? They obviously wouldn't be as powerful. I guess the most practical theory that I've seen that makes the most sense is that it was mentioned by Morgans that Big Mom's ship, had a run-in with the Cypher Pole Zero, because Cypher Pole Zero agent, the one that survived, was giving information over to Morgans, and then it's like, oh, the information cut out because the last report we heard was Big Mom's ship was arriving. I guess the most likely series of events is that Big Mom and Kaido got ejected from the magma pool through the volcanic eruption. That makes sense. They did not die. They landed in the ocean, maybe around where Big Mom's ship was, the Queen Mama Shanter, and then the remaining members of Big Mom's crew, hoisted Big Mom and Kaido onto the boat and then sailed away. Now, where would they be going? I don't know. I don't even know if Totland is still, operation right now, okay? There's the whole Germa cover story where the Germas are, on, Totland raising hell, but that occurred, directly after the Whole Cake Island arc, which was, a couple weeks ago at this point, okay? Might have been actually close to a month ago at this point, because you had to have time for the Straw Hats to go from Whole Cake to Wano, and then wait around for the Fire Festival for a couple of weeks, and then it was another week after the battle, so it's been probably a month since the cover series has been happening, okay? So we don't know the situation, though. Blackbeard might have tried to take over Totland. The Germa might have just, burned it to the ground or something, or at least Whole Cake Island, so Whole Cake might not be a viable place to go. So they might just be hiding out somewhere, they might have taken the Queen Mama Shanter to some random island that they've already devastated, or just some deserted island or some cave somewhere, and then that's where Big Mom and Kaido are, lying dormant. They're not dead, but they're severely wounded, part of their faces, whatever, maybe are melted off from the volcanic, eruption and the magma and everything, and they're just, in a coma, and it's they can't do anything right now, okay? So that effectively takes them out of the story, okay, without straight up killing them, in case Oda maybe wants to do something with them later, who knows. But I'm just thinking about this final part of the story. I'm thinking about this final epic throne war that Doflamingo hinted at years ago that is probably going to happen, and we're going to get the admirals involved and all the marines involved and all the current Yonko involved. Is there even a place for Big Mom and Kaido? Also, the fact that we've spent so much time with them at this point. Big Mom had her whole arc. Kaido had the Wano arc, which was the longest arc in all of One Piece. I think it's fine if we take a break from them for a little while, okay? So if they do show back up, I feel like, it's going to be way later in the story, okay? It would actually be really kind of funny if it's there's this big epic throne war happening, and then they don't show up until the tail end of it, and how that would even go, I'm not really sure, okay? But, if Kaido does, let's say he does recover, okay? He is really badly wounded, he's in a coma, but just give it enough time, he is a mythical mythical zone after all. He heals up. Maybe, of course, the Big Mom crew was going to have doctors on their ship or whatever like that, so they're just, like, in a coma right now. So eventually, after months or whatever, he wakes back up, and I don't know if you would say he's at full power, but he could still turn into a damn dragon. He could still use Boro breath and everything like that. He would still be a threat, okay? And I would not throw it in there as one of those things where it's like, well, Luffy defeated Kaido, so therefore Kaido is no longer a threat. Because, if Kaido gets back up and he turns into a dragon, he tries to fight again, all that Luffy has to do is just go back into Gear 5th, use a monkey god gun, and pip pip cheerio, Kaido's taken out, and, call it a day. I don't know about that. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, Luffy was able to defeat Kaido, and the same thing, like, Kid and Law were able to defeat Big Mom under certain circumstances, and that circumstance being the whole makes sense and all that stuff, but, would they be able to do it again, like, consistently? Like, if they came back, is it going to be a thing where Luffy's like, don't worry, guys, I beat Kaido once, therefore I can beat him every single time from here on out. I got this. See, that's the questions where I would rather just honestly prefer Big Mom and Kaido stay dead or out of the story until, like, I don't know, man. Like, honestly, if you wanted to keep them out of the story until, like, an epilogue, like, if Oda really does not want to kill them off for whatever reason, you could have a moment where it's, like, the very end of One Piece. Maybe not, like, an epilogue into the future, but, it's the end of the adventure for Luffy. Like, they reach Laugh Tale, they have this big epic war, they find the One Piece, all that jazz, and then maybe we just have a moment where we cut to various scenes all over the world, all of the different characters the Straw Hats have met and encountered up until that point and had befriended, or people that are, like, their enemies as well. Like, we see what's up with Arlong, we see what's up with Kuro, we see what's up with Krieg, right? And then we cut to some random island where there's Kaido and Big Mom, and they awaken from their months-long coma or whatever, and they're like, ugh, what happened? And he's like, Straw Hat Luffy found the One Piece. He's the king of the pirates now. Like, he found it. He has it, And then, I don't know, maybe, like, I can see Big Mom being like, Mama, we need to go find it. But I can see, honestly, Kaido maybe being like, well, he was Joy Boy after all. I could have seen this coming. I don't even know if I want it now. I don't even know if I want to go fight him or if I want to try to get the One Piece from him, right? Because Kaido was sort of like always seeking someone to best him, and he finally did. He finally found somebody that could defeat him and that did defeat him. So what if Kaido, honestly, like, I was being a little bit hyperbolic with the farming angle. Like, I don't think Kaido's just going to wake up and be like, I'm done being a pirate, time to go be a farmer now. But no, maybe Kaido was satiated by that. Maybe Kaido is like, you know what? I found someone that could challenge me and defeated me and fulfilled this, like, centuries-long prophecy. I think I'm going to quit drinking. I think I'm going to quit drinking. I don't really see a reason to try to become king of the pirates. Maybe that was the whole reason Kaido sought out Laugh Tale and the One Piece to begin with. It was because, like, I want to be the next Joy Boy, or I want to prove the prophecy wrong or something like that, right? Or to just, like, if I seek out the One Piece, then I'll encounter this Joy Boy character at some point, And he did. And it's like, okay, that was the whole reason. I don't really care about the treasure. I don't really care about any of that bullshit. Kaido doesn't really strike me as someone that cares about the Void Century or learning about the true history of the world. Big Mom doesn't really strike me as one of those people either. Big Mom, sought out the One Piece and stuff, I think just for one end to, like, one-up Roger, but also maybe to get her hands on the ancient weapons, take over the world, sort of set up her, like, perfect Hotland society. Kaido had that too, but it was a more of generic, just like, I want to make a land of anarchy where pirates rule. It's a more generic kind of, like, goal. I think it was more of, like, personal reasons why he wanted to find the One Piece, and just, like, this whole prophecy thing that was sort of, like, bugging him his entire life. You know what I mean? So, he might just be like, I'm gonna go back to, try to be a pirate or whatever, but I really have no desire. Maybe he might not be a pirate. Maybe does the farming angle actually make kind of sense now? Like, I don't know. Okay, like try to put yourself in Kaido's boots. I know his boots are pretty big. They're like size, 427 or whatever, but they're size 420. I could have made a weed joke there. I'm sorry. I don't smoke weed, so it's not the first thing that comes into my mind. Okay, size 420 boots. They're pretty big, okay? So, I know it's hard to put yourself in his perspective, but okay, he had this massive empire at Wano. He had all of his beast pirates and everything. All of that has been devastated at this point, okay? And let's say he does wake up after months or maybe years, and he finds out that, Luffy is the next Joy Boy. He achieved the awakening. He found the One Piece. He's king of the pirates. What do you do? What do you do? Do you, try to get stronger and then, build up your crew again to go fight Luffy? Because I don't know. I don't maybe, because he already lost against him once. Kaido might just take that to be that's just the way it is. That was what I was seeking this whole time. I mean, I guess you could sort of go like a Kenpachi Zaraki angle with it, where Ichigo defeats Kenpachi in the Soul Society arc, and then from that moment onward, Kenpachi's like, Ichigo, fight me. The battle we had was so intense and it felt so alive. I want to experience that again and again. I guess you could maybe do something like that with Kaido, where he could be wherever he is in the world, could be well, I want to fight Luffy again to really understand, whatever. But okay, this is a video called Where is Kaido? So let's okay, he's either still in the magma pool, dead, or maybe on Big Mom's ship, or maybe on some other deserted island. Maybe they did go back to Whole Cake. Maybe Whole Cake is okay. We're all throwing out all these crazy ideas, like maybe the Germa wiped it out, or maybe Blackbeard took it over or something. Maybe Whole Cake is still there, and that's where, they are, but they're no longer Yonko now. They're no longer considered emperors, so I don't think their territories might, hold together, It also might be a thing, a lot of Big Mom's family is part of her crew, so they probably would not leave, although some of them might. Some of them might be, so terrified of Big Mom, they might be like, this is our chance to just leave. Let's just get out of here. So there would still be some loyal members of Big Mom's crew that would stick around, but part of her family members and most of her regular crew that aren't her family might just get the hell out of Dodge. Be like, this ship is sinking, the assassination plot with Beiji and Luffy, and then she was defeated by Kid and Law at Wano. This is it. The Big Mom crew's over with. We're gonna pack our shit and leave, you know what I mean? So their crews are gonna fall apart. Kaido's whole crew at Wano, most of them are in the prison, the high-ranking members, King and Queen were in the prison. They were defeated by Aramaki. Whether that means they're dead or what, I'm not sure, because Aramaki seems pretty ruthless in that regard. So it's wherever they are, they're going to have to start all over again. I mean, they are really powerful in their own right, but most of their battle power has been lost, okay? Kaido really has no access to his all-stars or the headliners or his crew whatsoever. Big Mom might have her crew, but they might, like I said, fall apart there. So other than that, what are some other possibilities here? I mean... They could start a bakery. Okay, I'm not gonna know. Okay, let's try to figure out a serious angle what they could do with this. Okay, all right, serious angle here. Okay. Well, they could join up with another Yonko. I mean, it wouldn't be such a bad angle to take it, right? Now, not all Yonkos would accept them. Shanks, there's no way Shanks would accept Kaido and Big Mom to help them or welcome them on his crew or in his territory. That's not happening. Blackbeard, that's interesting because Kaido and Big Mom both have really powerful devil fruits, and the whole point of Blackbeard is trying to get their, really powerful devil fruits. And that was a big theory too that I talked about. What if Blackbeard kind of swoops in Wano in the last minutes, sort of like he did at Marineford and stole the Gura no Mi from Whitebeard. What if he does this? What if he swoops in and then steals the Soul no Mi and then the dragon fruit from Kaido, And that, by the way, that might still happen. That is not a ridiculous idea. Let's say Kaido and Big Mom were rescued, they did sail away, and then Blackbeard shows up with his whole fleet. It's the Queen Mama Shanter. Oh no, Big Mom, you're gonna die. It's okay, we'll get back to the island. And then it's we're not getting back to Totland. It's why? It's because the 10 Titanic captains are surrounding our ship. Like, no! And then it's like all of Blackbeard's crew. And then Blackbeard walks out and he's like, all right, hand over the old bag and the giant dragon monster and no one gets hurt. You know, and Big Mom did have a sizable chunk of her crew that went with her. Perospero is severely wounded, if not dead. Perospero's probably still alive, but like you still have you have Compote. You got Smoothie is there. That would actually be really cool to see Smoothie fight against the Blackbeard pirates. You got Bascart, the guy with the flamethrower arms. You got Molten Door. You got a few members of Big Mom's crew that can definitely hold their own. But against the full might, if like Blackbeard really brings the hammer down, you know, he brings the Kanabo down, and he's like, I want Kaido and Big Mom's Devil Fruits. I don't think they're gonna be able to stand up to them if Kaido brings like his whole fleet. Not even all of the 10 Titanic captains, but like a good chunk of his fleet that's like full power, ready to go. Meanwhile, Big Mom and Kaido are like unconscious. That's not gonna work. And so they might be at the Hachinosu. That might be a thing where like they were intercepted, captured, brought to the Hachinosu, and that would actually be really interesting because that's where they kind of grew up, sort of. Like, not Big Mom, but Kaido. Kaido grew up in the Vodka Kingdom, but then, I guess, went to go be a pirate, and after he got captured by the Marines, he went to Hachinosu, where he met rocks. Same thing with Big Mom, right? This is kind of where they spent their formative years as pirates and learned what it really is to be a pirate. So that would actually be a really cool way to maybe learn a little bit more about the Rocks crew and about the Hachinosu, like how it came into existence and all that shit. If it's like Kaido and Big Mom get brought there, and then they wake up, and it's like, oh, great, we're back here again, right? Well, I guess it's time to reminisce and explain our entire backstories now, right? And then Big Mom is like, Mama, I remember the time I first met Captain Rocks. You know, it's like something like that. I don't know. Luffy obviously would not, is like, hey, Luffy's like, now, as for the other Yonko, so that might be a possibility. Let's not throw that out there. I actually kind of like that one. Now that I've thrown that out there, I kind of like that idea of them being captured by Blackbeard, being taken back to the Hachinosu. If Blackbeard gets his hands on Big Mom and Kaido's fruits, that's a problem. Don't know if he would be able to use them himself or if he would give them to, like, another member of the crew. Who on his crew, out of the 10 Titanic captains, who doesn't have a devil fruit? Burgess does not have one that we're aware of. Shiryu has the clear fruit. Lafitte has some ability that allows him to turn into a bird, so he probably has a devil fruit. Avala Pizarro does not have one. Katarina Devon has the Kitsune. San Juan Wolf has the size fruit. Let's see here. Vasco Shot does not have one that we understand. Doc Q does not have one that we understand, although I think that Doc Q has some kind of disease devil fruit. I think it's like that. Maybe a disease Logia or bacteria Logia, virus Logia, who knows? Right, and then we don't know the 10th Titanic captain, so there might be some slots left for somebody on it, even like with Alvaro Pizarro and Vasco right there, and then Burgess. You have 3 members, you know, Vasco, maybe not, maybe Burgess gets the dragon fruit, Burgess with the dragon fruit, or Vasco with the dragon fruit, you know, the soul fruit. Maybe Alvaro Pizarro with the soul fruit, because he's like a corrupt king. He kind of seems a little crazy, but maybe he's an intelligent enough person to use it. I don't know, it's just like Burgess and Vasco definitely seem more like bruisers, like the heavies. You know, they seem like they would have the dragon fruit if anybody was going to get it. You know what I mean? They also might still have, like, we don't know anything about Vasco Shot. He might have the devil fruit already. He might have the diamond fruit or some shit. We just don't know. So I like that idea. As for the other Yonko, obviously Luffy, it's like, yeah, Kaido comes to Luffy and he's just like hanging his head in shame and he's like, so I know that I totally, like, you know, took control of Wano and caused horrible pain and suffering for the citizens there for like 20 years and allied with a despot and killed Odin in cold blood. But I was wondering if we could all put that like under the bridge and I could join the Straw Hat crew. And then Luffy's like, no. Even as a joke, that doesn't work. He's like, Luffy's like, no. So obviously that wouldn't happen. Now, Buggy, on the other hand, I'm just saying, out of the Yonko that remain, Blackbeard and Buggy make the most sense. If Big Mom and Kaido were going to join up with another Yonko crew and go have, you know, adventures and go fight on their side, Buggy would make the most sense. Now, would Big Mom and Kaido buy into Buggy being this super powerful clown star, the bombastic clown that's like 10 million IQ? Would they buy into it? Or would they just know he's not very strong and just manipulate him? I would find it funnier if they would think that he really is that powerful, right? But yeah, out of all of those theories, of course, beyond the bakery theory, I'm gonna go with it being most likely that maybe they were captured by Big Mom. I mean, Big Mom and Kaido were captured by Blackbeard, taken to the Hachinosu. That would actually be a really cool way to spin it, and we can learn some stuff about rocks in the lore there, about Full Island. So we'll see where that goes. But anyway, yeah, just wanted to get that video out. I got a lot of other stuff to talk about. We got the whole thing with, I want to make a video about admirals and Yonko, because we're definitely moving along that road here, especially with Aramaki and his battle and the kind of stuff he said in the last chapter. And then I do want to talk about, I want to expand on that theory and kind of look into the whole thing of like the mechanics of how Pluton exists and what it is and everything like that. So we have a lot more details now, a lot more theories are out there to talk about. So thanks for watching, everybody. And now I'm actually just jumping into the next animal fact. Okay, I think we had a good run with jellyfish. It's August now, so let's just move on to the letter K. Now, you would expect me to go with kangaroo, okay? But I thought, you know, that's too basic. I mean, like, everybody talks about kangaroos, okay? It's like if you think of an animal that starts with letter K, the first thing you're going to think of is kangaroo, okay? So we're not doing kangaroos. We're also not doing koalas, okay? We're getting out of Australia, all right? Get away from Australia. We just spent jellyfish facts in Australia. We're leaving Australia. We're going to Indonesia, everybody. That's right. The next animal fact is going to be all about Komodo dragons. The closest damn thing that we have in our real life reality that you can actually come in contact with is a damn Komodo. The closest thing to a dragon is a Komodo dragon or a Komodo monitor lizard, whatever, okay? They are the largest species of lizard that are still alive on the planet, although they are kind of endangered right now, mostly just because of humans and climate change. You know, it's like, what animal could possibly rival a dragon? It's like, yeah, humans. Like, oh, yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense, destroying their habitats, yeah. But they're mostly around Indonesia. The largest Komodo dragon can be 3 meters in size and weighing over 70 kilos or 150 pounds. They are the apex predator, and because of that, because they are just so massive in terms of being a lizard, okay? A lot of other lizards have to hunt in like different ways because they're tinier and like hunt like bugs and stuff like that. But Komodo dragons, man, they're badass. They don't need any of that shit. They can straight up like stalk deer in the freaking bush. You know what I mean? Like, because they're that powerful, they're that large. Although they do prefer eating a lot of carrion, like a lot of like they're kind of scavengers in that regard, okay? So like if they find like a dead animal on the side of the road or anything, they'll be like, oh, that's good, and so they'll have some of that. They can live upwards of 30 years. The big thing is that we'll explore this more into other facts, but like the idea they have a venomous bite. They have glands inside of their mouths that emit an anticoagulant, I believe, and so that there we'll go more into detail with that. It's not venom in the strictest sense, but we'll see what happens with that. It's not good to get bit by them, is the point. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics. They're pretty damn big lizards and the closest thing we got to dragons in our modern world on planet Earth. Or I hope they are for the foreseeable future because they are endangered. But anyway, yeah, Komodo dragon facts. If you guys want to give me an intro to this, what kind of intro vibe are we feeling with this one? I think we have to do the original, not the original, but the English original Dragon Ball Z intro. I think we have to do something to that beat, you know, dragon, dragon, up the dragon, Dragon Ball Z, you know, something with that tune, something with that beat, you know, Komodo dragon, dragon, Komodo Dragon Ball Z, something like that, okay, with the facts intro, okay, if you're gonna make it, all right? So, yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Tekking signing out.